It is a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. It's so amazing. And I keep mentioning it because I want you to wake up. I hope that you do. And stop fighting based on color, male or female, but deal with what's driving the people. Some people are driven by good. Some are driven by evil. And that's just the way it is. I also debated a Democrat by the name of, I believe he was a congressman, by the name of Ted Lieu. And I debated this guy at one of those Politicon in Pasadena. And Ted Lieu is a Democrat. And I have to tell you, I wouldn't trust Ted Lieu to be a dog catcher. Really. I wouldn't trust Ted Lieu to pick my cotton. I wouldn't trust Ted Lieu to cut my grass. Ted Lieu is a very deceptive person. I just exposed him when I debated him. Well, he ended up in another situation. There's this woman by the name of Candace Owens, and apparently, when the guy in New Zealand did the mass shooting, he had written some type of a document, and her name was mentioned in that document. And so as a result, something about hate speech or something. As a result, they start calling it hate speech and all that kind of stuff. And so they questioned Candace Owens on the consequences of online hate speech. Because this guy out of New Zealand had written a manifesto, and he mentioned her in that manifesto. And so she was questioned by this guy, Ted Lieu, Congressman Ted Lieu from California. And if a Democrat is from California, it's even worse than normal. And so this guy, Ted Lieu, played a portion of a soundbite of a speech or something that Candace had given somewhere. And according to her, he had kind of presented in a way where it tried to make her look bad. All right. And it was amazing. And Candace made some type of statement that Democrats don't want black people to, or don't believe black men, or don't want them to succeed. And that's so true. Look at the black people who vote for Democrats, who've been on that plantation for years now, 70 years or so. Democrats have used them, giving them free stuff. The black families are messed up. They're having babies out of wedlock. Their sons and daughters are going to jail for committing crimes, and they hardly want to work for themselves now. And that's because the Democrats have used them, spoiled them, and they don't have sense enough to know it. So she was right about that. And so they got on her about white nationalists or something. I haven't really seen it, the whole thing. I just saw a portion of it. And so this hearing happened on either yesterday or the day before. This is from Fox. Candace explained why the discussion between her and the House, so afterward, it really got a lot of notice after Candace went off on this guy. Not go off on him, but it really exposed Lieu as to what he was trying to do at the Democratic Party. And so Candace was invited on Fox last night by Ingraham Angle, Laura Ingraham show. And Candace explained why the discussion between her and the House representative went viral. She explained why it went viral. Here's that first soundbite.
Well, I think it drew attention for a lot of reasons. I think in many ways people on the right felt vindicated. And I know that there were a lot of moderate people that came over and realized that what I was talking about were actually real issues in Black America. I touched upon the illiteracy rates. 75% of Black boys in California not being able to read is a problem in Black America. White nationalism, when Black-on-Black crime, 90.1% of all homicides against Black Americans are performed by other Black Americans. The entire hearing, in my opinion, was a hoax. The continued hoax on Black America, which comes to us from Democrats who want us ultimately to fail by focusing on something that is not harming us when you look at all of the other issues that we are facing.
And so Candace was debating with a guy on Laura Ingraham's show it's a civil rights attorney, Leo Terrell. He joined the show and said Candace was on her 15 minutes of fame and just tried to market herself. Here's that.
Well, I just see right now Candace Owens is getting 15 minutes of fame, and just give me 30 seconds to prove my point. She just, again, assumed that all Democrats are hoping that Black people fail. On her interview with C-SPAN, she says that the word nationalism has been compromised or poisoned by elitists. Tell that to the people in Charlottesville. She then tried to put herself in the same category of Donald Trump, talking about the false narrative. But the part that was so insulting, when she's promoting her employer and said that she went to Jerusalem and not a single Democrat went there. Ms. Owens, let me tell you, 72% of Jewish Americans voted for Democrats. So you did a great job of promoting yourself and playing the victim. And by the way, it's not just Black people who were not stupid by what you said. Americans were not stupid, because I listened to everything you just said. And I hope you can challenge what I said about the number of Blacks, number of Jews who support Democrats. But you did a good job of marketing yourself today, putting yourself in the same boat as the president. Good job, Candace.
Candace and Laura responded by accusing Terrell of making personal attacks.
All right. So the personal attack, I just want to, for the record, I just want to say the personal attacks continue. That, Leo, you're attacking her character. She's mentioning issues. You're attacking her character and what she said.
Laura,
you're not attacking that.
You're not a leader. In my opinion,
hold on, let her speak now, Leo. Don't talk over the guest. Go ahead.
Let me speak. That wasn't ad hominem attack, and it's childish, and I'm not going to play these playground tactics with you. I'm going to keep the focus on Black America and the things that are actually impacting us. This is an adult conversation that needs to be had. Okay, the shootings in Chicago. It was Laura Ingraham who hosted and had a real conversation with people that were living in that neighborhood about things that are affecting them. And ultimately, this is why the Blexit movement grows. This is why Blacks are exiting the Democrat Party, because ad hominem attacks are not making people feel better about themselves. Ad hominem attacks are not going to impact our financial situation in Black America. It's unfortunate, because you consider yourself a civil rights leader. You're just attacking me. You're just attacking me. You haven't actually offered anything that's constructive for Black America.
And this is where Laura goes. Then Laura goes on to defend what Candace said at the judiciary hearing.
I think a lot of Democrat leaders are freaking out and tried to kill her yesterday at that hearing.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Out and tried to kill her yesterday at that hearing.
They're afraid.
Because they don't want what she is saying to take hold in other parts of the Black community. Leo, I honestly believe that. They're hurting. They're really hurting, and they're not hurting mostly because of white nationalism. That's always going to be a problem, but that's not really why they're hurting.
Here's my
amazing. Here's where Terrell and Candace goes at it.
Here's my request, Laura. I would like to go to Chicago with you and debate Ms. Owens on that issue. I would love to go.
Why do we need to debate? Why don't you want to hear? Why do you want to debate?
Because I want to hear the discussion.
Why don't you want to go to hear about other people? You want to debate. That's like, why do you want to hear from the people that are
the most diverse party, the most diverse party in the Democratic Party of minorities.
Hold on.
Let me speak. I have not said.
Hold on.
Let me speak. I have not said a single thing attacking your character because I don't need to. I am confident in my ideas. I am confident in the fact that Black America is waking up and realizing that we have been missing out. I am confident that the biggest issue facing our community is father absence, which further deconstructs everything that is happening. Stop cutting me off. I didn't cut you off, okay?
You have attacked
I have not attacked you once.
Every Democrat.
I have attacked Democratic policies.
Member of this country.
Democrat policies are hurting Black America.
Every Democrat. Every Democrat.
Amazing. And here's where Leo pointed out that Candace believes Democrats want Black people to fail. Isn't it obvious? It's even obvious to the Blacks that stay on the plantation. Here we go.
She has basically said that every Democrat, the most diverse party of minorities, of people of color, she has just said on national TV over and over again that the Democrats want Black people to fail. Ms. Owens, that's not the person. Those are your words. That's not true.
Leo, that is
not true.
Leo, I would.
That's a fact, not an attack.
Amazing. The whole real deal of the thing, Black people are not going to get better until each individual take responsibility for themselves. Really, they're not. Until they realize they are responsible for themselves. Other Black people are not responsible for Black people. White people are not responsible for white people. The Democratic Party, as anyone would do, would use you if you let them use you. And Blacks are allowing themselves to be used. The men and the women. Not all, but most. And so I used to be a Democrat at one point because I was brainwashed in that father state. And I had this false notion. Once I moved to L.A., it wasn't like that in Alabama. But once I moved to L.A., I believed that the Democrats, I was convinced by other so-called Black leaders and adults that the Democrats cared about Black people because they were giving us free stuff. And that includes Black Democrats and white Democrats. And then I realized, by start seeking for myself, I realized that it wasn't true that the Democratic Party, including the Blacks, were using Black people. They have to keep them angry, brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized in order to use them. And even the Black men don't have sense enough, not all, but most of them, to think and do for themselves. Because if the men would change, the women and children will change. They'll follow. They will follow. It's so amazing. But the Democratic Party is clearly using Black people, and they don't want them to succeed. They want them down and out. They need to vote. Why do you think they keep using racism, which doesn't even exist? And now that so-called racism word is starting to die down, they're using white supremacists. White supremacists. They got to find lying words, made-up words, in order to keep the Blacks angry, brainwashed, dumbed down, and morally bankrupt. And that's the whole purpose of it. It's a battle between good and evil. And these people want power and wealth. Look how they pretending there's no crisis at the border with all these illegals coming in. All kind of people coming in. Bringing in diseases, crime, drugs, everything else. You name it, they're bringing it in. And the Democrats don't care. They come here for free stuff. They're not coming here to work. They're using fake children and everything to get in our country. And the Democrats want it to happen for the votes. And some of the right-o Republicans, too. As quiet as it's kept, they want the same thing. You remember that debate I had with Ted Lieu?
Yeah. Mr. Trump, tear down these walls. And you've debated the ACLU, Ted Lieu, Crystal Ball from formerly of MSNBC or something.
And that little black woman with the short afro, Karen Bass.
Yeah, you debated
Did you
her,
see that?
That was a different one. But yeah, you were there too.
Yeah.
That was about the black community or something.
Yeah. And she was trying to use Jim Crow laws and stuff.
Yeah.
And I allowed the people to see that I was from the Jim Crow law. I grew up there. Karen Bass had no idea what she was talking about.
It was basically like 6-on-1 each time.
I know. Just one me and God against the rest of the devils.
We have those on your YouTube channel.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.